welcome to everybody for attending, and a especially warm welcome to our international guests who are from Germany, Mauritius, Dubai, Kenya, and probably quite a few other venues who are still going to link in. I'd like to start off by giving you a very brief introduction to our company Seaqual. It's been going for 18 years. It was started by a master plumber who had 35 years of experience and felt that products could be designed in such a way that they would be easier to install and more practical in the solutions they offered and would take less time to install. And so this gentleman, Tony Sprong, developed these products, and over time, the company evolved into the company it is today. Today, we have ISO 9000 certification. We've had it for 7 years. And another important point is in South Africa, products that need to be certified in terms of our South African national standards, our SAN standards, get certified by SABS, South African Bureau of Standards, and they will then test your products. However, when there is no set of SAN standards for a product, the product is innovative, it was developed after the standards were written 20, 30 years ago, these products also have to be tested, but they have to be tested according to a different set of rules. And for that, the government, South African government, appointed an agency called Agrimar. And Agrimar, just mute them. Okay, and so the government appointed a company called Agrimar, International Standard Organization, so that Henry? Okay. They appointed this international standards organization to test products that have not got a SAN set of standards written for them. In our particular case, our full range of wet floor drains, gullies, water traps, and our equivalent of a full bore, which is called our HyDrain, are all certified by Agrimar. We submitted them about 5 years ago. That certification process took a year, and today, a year later, they were certified. So that was 4 years ago. And that was a huge achievement for Seaqual as an organization. Okay, without any further ado, I'd like to begin the presentation by saying that the way this product, QualiDrain, came about is that for years, my business partner and myself, Richard Son, had a look at the products that were available on the market from a channel drain point of view. And we noticed the following, and we also got a lot of feedback from plumbers, that there were, although there were products on the market, a lot of them had features that had some shortcomings or had areas that they were not solving. And I'll give you, I mean, this is not running a product down, but this is just to give you an example of what I mean. This is a product that is currently available on the market. If you have a look at a product like this channel drain, it's 1 meter in length. And if you want to connect this product, for example, in a T or in a plus or an L, you, for example, would tee it in that way. Now, if you did that, somebody to admit, if you did that, you'd notice a break in the pattern. The pattern would be running in this direction on the horizontal, and on the vertical, your pattern would be running that way. So that's the first complication that plumbers and end users out there are experiencing. The second problem is that when you want to make that connection in a T or an L or a plus, you need to use an additional device, which is called a junction box. And with the result is you now have an additional component, which makes it sort of inconvenient for the plumber. It is also costly, and it's also a time problem, because very often the plumber doesn't have one of these junction boxes on site. He then has to pop down to his local plumbing supplier, and when he gets there, very often you'll find that a junction box is not available in stock. So these are the kinds of things that we had a look at. The other complication was that all of these products that I've showed you now are rated at 1.5 ton carrying capacity. If you look at your vehicles today, typically just an ordinary SUV comes in at between 1.6 and 2.3 tons. So already a 1.5 ton carrying capacity is problematic. The second problem there is that the width of these devices, this width here, and the depth is not sufficient to deal with the volume of water that plumbers are typically coming across, and particularly wet service engineers who design these solutions. So I'm very happy to introduce to you a product that took us 4 years to develop, and that took us 4 years to develop, and this is called the QualiDrain. Now, when you walk into your store to buy it, this is how it will be packaged and wrapped. It consists of 3 components, basic components, which would be your grate, a cover, a dust cover, and in addition to that would be the channel, which is this component here. All right, so it's channel, which is wider and as well as deeper than your current channels, and a dust cover, which I'll explain the use of, and a grate, and I'll give you the advantages of all of these products. Now, if you have a look at our particular product, the one thing is that when these other products on the market, as I said, they're available in 1 meter lengths. Our product has been designed in a 250 millimeter length. So you can get multiples of 250 millimeters, which means half a meter, 750, 1.25, whatever. The method for joining these products is actually fairly simple. On one side of the product, there is a female junction, and on the other side is a male junction. So there would be a male junction on this side and a female junction on this side. If you take the male side and you just merely slide it into the female side, there you have a very simple connection for extending it in 250 millimeter lengths. And so you continue to whatever desired length you want, be it a meter, 10 meters, 100 meters, doesn't matter. The next thing, so it's a very easy method for joining products together. So I'll just put one more in. So I don't have my glasses on. There we are. So I've got 3 connected together. Now, the next thing was that up until now, it's sort of fairly similar to what's available on the market, other than the easy click-in system. So here's where the benefits and the real differentiators come between this product and what else is available on the market. If you would like to tee into this product, all right, you merely slide the male and female into one another, and you require, this is very important, no junction box. And then you end up with that configuration. And so you can extend it along that way and that way in a T or an L or a plus. All you have to do at that point in time is to cut out the recess here to allow water to flow from your linear channel into your T connection. The next advantage of this product, so remember, you don't need, at that point in time, you don't need a junction box, which is a huge advantage. So here's the other benefit, which we think is probably one of the biggest benefits of this product, is if you have a situation where you have a lengthy run of product, and at some point in time, you need to deal with a larger volume of water than normal. So you want to create what we would term a catch pit. It's very easily accomplished with this product. You turn the 2 products upside down, okay, put them side by side, and then there's a little U-clip that merely slides over the 2 male junctions, and you now have a catch pit. Very simple, no junction box. And then once again, you cut a recess in here, you cut a recess on that side, and then you can see here we've cut a recess in this one just to show you as an example. And now you have a catch pit. And that catch pit can be extended ad infinitum. You can add a third, a fourth, a fifth, and you can add another one here and here. So you could, for example, have 4 of these together, 4 of them that way, and then extend it as a single one thereafter in a single run. If you think about the current products on the market, there isn't a way to create a catch pit with any of the current products other than going to a third-party product or to find some kind of solution on site, which is messy. It's not integrated, and it's not part of the same solution. So here we have either a linear run or a T or a plus, or an L, and the ability to create a catch pit. We think the catch pit idea is absolutely a fantastic solution. The next part of our product that we are quite proud of is that the channel itself is made from polypropylene. All the components, like the outlets and the stop ends, are made of ABS, and the grate itself is made of glass-filled nylon. Excuse me. Now, we had this particular grate tested, and I told you that the carrying capacity on other products on the market is 1.5 tons, so it has an A15 rating. This particular product we submitted to a company called Servilight in Knysna. They did some tests with hydraulic equipment, whereby they created a mass that they were able to increase the pressure on this grate, and this grate was then mounted on top of one of our channels and placed in concrete as if it was installed on site. They applied pressure to a point where they increased it to 20 tons, and they got a slight bend in the grate. They then released the pressure, reapplied it to 20 tons, released, reapplied to 20 tons, just kept on getting a bend. They then increased the pressure, and at 25 tons, they got a slight crack in the grate. So we are quite confident that installed, this product is probably going to carry between 15 and 18 tons. Now, if you think that would probably qualify for a rating of C250, but we're thinking that it will get at least a B rating of a 125 rating, which we think is going to be quite fantastic. So 25 tons possibly, but maybe 15 tons. The next thing about our product is that when it is shipped or stocked in a store, it will typically have a dust cover on the top, or sorry, at the bottom, and it'll have its grate on the top, like here, when it's packaged. So the top will be the grate, then the channel, and then the dust cover. The function of the dust cover is to give us a uniform area around which to apply the wrapping, so that it's not damaged or disfigured when it is wrapped. But secondly, and more importantly, is during the installation phase, the plumber will then dig his trench, lay this in the trench with concrete, put the cover on, and then fill with concrete and compress or compact. When the concrete is dry or cured, he merely removes the cover and then fits a grate that is pristine, that has absolutely no cement, sludge, or slurry on it, and the customer gets a beautiful finish. If you think about practically, you go to sites today and you have a look at completed installations, and there isn't one where the grate has been cleaned or can be cleaned properly. They are always disfigured, and aesthetically it looks horrible. We've got a honeycomb pattern grate. So if you think about it, I told you that you get the break-in pattern with the current products on the market. If you create an L or a T, just look at that. You know, you don't get a break in the pattern. It's a uniform pattern. So, and that doesn't matter which configuration you have, whether it be as a catch pit or obviously in the linear configuration, or whether it's a T or L, which is another big plus for our product. So you always get a good aesthetic finish, no junction box. So it's simple and easy. Click-in mechanism, a pristine grate because you have a cover that it is shipped with. And then talk to you about the outlets. At the bottom of our product, we have two outlets or pipe connectors. We have a 50 millimeter and a 75. You just cut out to the size you require. If, for example, you'd like to go to 110 millimeter from 75 millimeter, we have designed our own universal connector, and it's a reducer which takes you from 75 millimeter to 110 mil. Remember that this is polypropylene, so it won't glue to anything, and therefore we ship this product with a little bit of lube in a bank packet, and then apply that to the inside rubber seal, slide it over, and the same is done on this side and connect it into your 110 millimeter stormwater pipe. Another feature of this product, if you look carefully, if you have a look at the ribbing here, this ribbing makes for very secure anchoring when concrete is poured. So it's an incredibly robust product. It's not going to dislodge once it's installed in situ. Further advantage or feature is that besides the black grate that I've shown you, we have another 4 colors at this point in time, which are the same colors as our RainDrain range of products. Remember that this grate is made out of glass-filled nylon. So we have a green, gray, sandstone, and terracotta. This product is patented in the United States, Germany, the United Kingdom, South Africa, and Australia. So we've gone to a lot of trouble to protect the intellectual property on this particular product. I'd like to show you that from a side outlet point of view, we have the option of a 50 millimeter side outlet or a 75 millimeter side outlet, which easily slides into the female connection on your junction, on your channel, giving you a 75 millimeter side outlet, or alternatively a 50 millimeter side outlet, or alternatively a solid stop end like that. Remember, on this side, you will have a female connector. At the end of your run, on the opposite side, you will have a male connector, which means that you can't fit a stop end to the male connector as is. That's where the U-clip comes into good use again. And all you do is slide a U connector in, and you can fit the stop end into the final side, the end run. So you can have stop ends on both sides, or alternatively, you can have a side outlet like that. A further benefit of the product is that you can shorten it even further because there are additional recesses built in here. So although this is 250 millimeters, you can shave off or you can cut off a further section. Now remember, the 1 meter product that I showed you, there is no mechanism for or facility to shorten it. If you do cut it and shorten it, which you can do, it's very untidy because you cannot fit a stop end. There's no groove into which you can slide a stop end. So you have to find some kind of a way to create a stop end. And secondly, is you then stuck with 1 meter length. So you can only have 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 4 meter. Very often, you know, your garage might be 2.5 meters or 2.75 meters, or the area that you want to cover will be greater. Remember, the applications for this particular product could be driveways, parking garages, parking basements, rooftop parking, golf courses, walkways around swimming pools. And because of the rating, if you think that this product only broke at 25 tons, if you take a 20-ton truck and it's got 16 wheels on it with the weight distribution across 16 wheels, it's conceivable that this product is going to be able to carry a 20 or a 30 or a 40-ton truck, because those tires, the weight is distributed across several tires, across a broad tire, and that tire has a radius which is distributed across this particular grade. So we think that this is going to be very useful for civil application in, for example, allowing trucks to go in and out of parking yards, or even in civil construction. So this product has multiple applications, not only residential, but light commercial and probably heavy industrial as well. We are going to be submitting it to SABS in this case, the moment the lockdown is over and we can start communications with them. We're really excited about the product. We hope you are. I'd like to say that this kind of, have I covered everything, Richard?
Absolutely.
This concludes the presentation on this product, during which time you've been able to submit any written questions. What we now want to do is to show you a couple of our other products. So in other words, those who'd like to sign off may do so, all right, or leave the meeting. But I'm going to take another 5 or 10 minutes to just briefly show you our other products. I'm not going to discuss their features. I'm merely going to show you what they look like so that you can tell that Seaqual has other products on the market. And then we will open the meeting up to verbal questions, and I'll unmute everybody. So you're very, very welcome to and invited to stay on and watch the rest of the discussion. Rich, can I ask you to pass me some products? So the first product I'm going to ask Richard to show me is going to be our RainDrain. We have two versions of this RainDrain. If you think that for years, plumbers had to create a sump, they had to dig like a pit, a catch pit, at the bottom of a downpipe, a gutter downpipe, which they then had to apply bricks and mortar, and you know that typically plumbers don't deal with that kind of thing, so it was inconvenient for them. And then they would merely put a metal grate over the top, which was untidy. Sometimes they disappeared or they dislodged, and then you had this unsightly 110 millimeter waste pipe coming up underneath that grate. This plumber, Tony Sprong, decided to design this particular product. It was our first product that he brought to market. It has its own sump, integrated sump. It basically consists of 3 components. The grate, which is made of polypropylene. The sump, which is made of polypropylene. It has a 75 millimeter detail or profile, which makes it suitable for paving bricks. And the third part or component is a neoprene collar on the outlet, which is fluted, by the way, so that it fits neatly into the 110 millimeter waste pipe and has a little bit of flexibility or give as you seat it, to allow you to tilt this in the same direction as what your bricks in your paving are shaped. By the way, I said to you, this is polypropylene. It's called our RainDrain Light. Has a carrying capacity of 1.5 tons. We have the identical product made with a grate in glass-filled nylon. It has a 5-ton rating. This product is also patented, and this comes in the same 5 colors that our grates on the QualiDrain come in that I showed you earlier, which is gray, sandstone, green, terracotta, and black. The next product I'd like to show you, I know there's a gentleman in our audience who may be interested in this. It's a holder bat. It can secure water carrying pipes as well as electrical conduiting to any type of surface. The benefit of this, and we call it a BuddyBat, it's made of polypropylene. The benefit of this product is it's very easy to install. What happens is you have your conduit run, you fit this to the conduit, okay? You take your drill, you drill a hole in this hole over here into your concrete or your wood, and then you take an anchor and you hammer in the anchor, or a posi, and you screw in the posi. What's the benefit of this product? Quite a lot of benefits. It stops water hammer or pipe shadow, which is a big problem today. The second thing is a lot of the competitive products on the market are shaped in a Y with your anchor comes through this part of the Y. And the problem is that as you hammer in the anchor, you break off the ears. So you have wastage. So you've got to keep on throwing away and replacing as you install. Whereas with the BuddyBat, no wasting, you can install it without any breakages. Another benefit is that we found that because the pipe is now secured in situ, there is less chance of copper pipe theft, which is a big problem, certainly in South Africa. I don't know about the rest of the world. So it's difficult, you know, the person who would like to take the copper can't just remove it. He can cut a small piece off, but he can't take a whole run of copper. So that's another benefit. The third benefit is, or the next benefit is, we make it in a range of colors. We have red for hot water, blue for your cold water, brown for outside installation, yellow for gas, and white for electrical conduit. Comes in a range of sizes. At this point in time, I think it's 15, 18, 22, 25, 28, and 32 millimeters. We can make it in any size for any country in the world that requires pipe sizes or that have pipe sizes that are different. We just have to make a different mold, but we've got the design already. A very, very neat and nifty product. Then I'd like to show you, we have a range of shower drains and balcony drains. Our shower drains, okay, all of them have an F-box. That's the starting point. The F-box either has a side outlet or a bottom outlet, either in 50 millimeters or 75 millimeters, 50 millimeters or 75 millimeters. This is mounted in the concrete. You have some stabilizing lips that can be used to attach to your reinforcing bars with wire. When the concrete is poured, where's the dust cover, Rich? When the concrete is poured, just bring me one of each size. When the concrete is poured, the plumber fits this particular dust cap and the concrete is poured. When the concrete is set, the plumber will remove this and he will attach our waterproofing flange. Good points about this flange is it's very wide. It can accept torch on and cementitious. It acts as a reducer in a sense, is that it fits neatly into our F-box. You waterproof onto this. Water obviously flows onto the waterproofing through these little weep holes here and into our F-box. If this is installed inside a home where you have a sewage system, and so it's connected to the sewage, you need a trap. So this is quite nifty. This is our water trap, which gets installed inside our F-box as part of your second fix. Okay, like that. It has a little water seal, rubber seal, and it has a well and a cap. Neat thing about this is obviously you install that, and on top of that goes your second fix as well, which is your finish in either a 110 by 110 stainless steel square or round or diamond pattern, or many other patterns which we have, or a 200 by 200. We have that as well, which is one of our flagship products. We also have them in black because that has become a vogue. And here's the good thing, is that all of these products work with all of our F boxes. All of these products have been Agri-Mar certified. And what do I mean by that is the important part here is that the trap was Agri-Mar certified, in that it is a 75mm water trap, which our SAN specification insists on. Now, that particular trap, let me go back a step. When we first developed this F-box, this one we developed later on in life. This was our first F-box configuration. If you look at the profile here, it's quite deep. And concrete slabs and floors were deep enough to accommodate these particular F-boxes many years ago. But as technology improved and they were able to shorten or lower the depth of a floor, a cast slab, we were approached by architects and plumbers to say, could we please design this, but in a smaller profile? And we did exactly that. You can see how much smaller this profile is. So today, we're finding, and we call this our low-low configuration, this one fits into all of your smaller slabs and your thinner slabs. However, what we had to do is our 75mm trap that went into that particular box would not work in this F-box because it's so much, it's less, it's not as deep. So we took the exact same water trap, we cut it a bit shorter here, we cut it a little shorter there, and it is now a 52mm water trap, and it fits into the low-low F-box. This was also Agri-Mar certified. These were for 1 and 2 stack systems, and this is for a 2 stack system only, where you have ventilation or vented drains. The second part is that once you have completed your pouring your concrete in your first fix, okay, and you remove the dust cover, and you then come along and fit your second fix, and you then have to pour your slab, cast your, what do you call it, your finishing slab, yeah, then you fit this dust cover so that you don't damage anything, and then that can be removed, and then you can do your final fix, which is this particular one. And you can cut that insert to any depth to accommodate the thickness of tile and the thickness of your floor. So that was the next product. Rich, I think, okay, is there, I'd like to show them the HyDrain and then the Easy Plug. No, it's fine like that at the moment. Yeah, you can leave it as is. Right, here's another one of our flagship products. It's used by, it's very popular amongst plumbers, and the reason why is it acts as a full bore, but the current full bores on the market are made of metal. They're extremely heavy and cumbersome, difficult to work with, and expensive. So we developed the identical solution, but in glass-filled nylon, and we call it our HyDrain. Has a nice big waterproofing flange, also cementitious, torch-on waterproofing. This then is cast into the concrete. It comes in a 110mm outlet for your standard waste pipe, but in areas where you have a much higher water carrying requirement, we have a 160mm diameter HyDrain. This has become exceptionally popular, and particularly in high-rise buildings. I would imagine places like in Germany and Dubai, where they have exceptionally big constructions, and around the world, a product like this would be exceptional. The finishing part of this is it has a leaf guard or a dome, which gets fitted on the top. You'll see there are 4 holes here. This has got 4 holes in the cover, and this cover or leaf guard is secured onto the waterproofing flange with 4 stainless steel screws that we supply, and then we have 4 little plugs that fit into these holes. This is installed on flat roofs and on balconies, and it's an extremely popular product. This is probably our second biggest selling product that we have in our range. And then we have a further product. Is when my partner went to an exhibition in Sydney about 4 years ago, he found that the product that they work with mostly in Australia is vinyl, and they don't tile, they use vinyl. And there's a whole lot of good reasons for that, and one of them is that you don't have the problem where bacteria and fungus can grow in the grouting. So the finish is vinyl. And of course, our standard range of drains didn't accommodate a vinyl finish. And so we came up with this drain, which we call our Vital Drain. It looks very similar to the HyDrain. It's made out of ABS, gets cast into the concrete. You then finish your vinyl, cut it, and then the vinyl is then secured with this particular flange, screw-in flange, and it screws down beautifully onto the vinyl and secures a nice seal onto the vinyl. This is particularly popular in South Africa for hospital applications, where we've sold quite a lot of them. What we've also found is the cover, obviously, the grate is available in plastic or stainless steel and has become quite popular as a full bore, but instead of with a domed leaf guard, with a flat leaf guard. So we've found that it's now found another home and is serving as another application. And just to give you an example, here's the plastic one, and there's the stainless steel one. All right. And then the final product I'd like to show you is it's a product that we haven't yet launched. We're about to launch it. It is a product that was designed with the following in mind. If you think about wash basins, sinks, and dishwashers and washing machines, anyone who's had the opportunity or the pleasure of having to work in a cupboard underneath a wash basin or next to a washing machine or the outlet of a dishwasher to repair a damaged trap or a blocked trap or something that's not wrong or a modification or a seal that needs to be changed, it's a complete nightmare because underneath there is no standard for this. They use a combination of bottle traps, S traps, P traps, and there's a spaghetti of piping. We came up with a very ingenious solution for that, and that is to place all of that essentially in one compartment, in a box, which we call our Easy Plumb. The idea of this product is to create a standard way to pipe and connect and to plumb a dishwasher, a washing machine, a wash basin, a kitchen sink, or a bath. Okay, think about this now. So this product can be mounted from the outside into the wall, so the depth is the same as your wall. So it gets mounted into the wall. Think of this as the exterior of your house. This is the interior of your home. From a maintenance point of view, okay, inside, I'm just going to take the cover off. Inside this box, we don't have it connected yet because we're waiting for the pipe from overseas. But think of a creepy pipe. A pipe of this configuration will plug into the outlet. It's got a little way to plug in here. It forms a trap, and then it goes into the inlet here. And that forms your trap, and it's removable. So you easily just lift it off here, unplug it there, take it apart, clean it, and then fold it back again and install it inside this box. And then the plumber closes the box like this. And that maintenance can be done from the outside, or alternatively, this box gets mounted on the inside of your home, and then under your counter, all you see is that, to which you connect your dishwasher. We've even got it on a screw cap, so that when your dishwasher gets fitted onto that, or it gets glued, or your whatever gets glued onto this, you don't have to break this connection and damage the cover. You merely unscrew it, take off the cover, do some maintenance and cleaning, unblocking, and put it all back again. Remember, and what we're busy with at the moment is we're designing an inlet that can accommodate a dishwasher and a washing machine at the same time, so that you can pipe both of them into this particular connector and into this arrangement. We've had rave reviews about this product, even though we haven't launched it on the market yet. We should have it ready, I would say, within a month and a half to 2 months. It'll be on the market. It's going to be called the Easy Plug. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation. What I'd like to do is to unmute the presentation and ask you to please engage in any conversation you'd like to. I'm getting on the table here to do this, to engage in any conversation you'd like to with us. Just hang on a second. There's my glasses. I know this looks a bit unprofessional, but let me do this. Where do I? Yeah, unmute. Okay, there we are. Everybody's unmuted if you'd like to.
Okay, ek sien ek het nou vinnig gekyk na goed. Die windbelading goed sê hier. Thickness of pines and glass and flat solid other than lift shell, blah blah blah. Be determined by a competent person glazing, SANS 10137, and be based on wind loads determined in accordance with the requirements of SANS 10400B.
Oh, that is full. You're coming through on our feed. I've unmuted.
Okay, basis wat hierdie ding vir jou sê, is dat verwysing is A1 normaalweg okay. Maar jy moet
where's Phil? Philip, mute him. I think he's muted now. Okay, does anybody else, apologies for that, does anybody have a question?
Dan?
Ja, it's okay.
Yes.
Sorry, just, can you just chat about the surface of the PolyDrain grate, the non-slip?
Oh, yes. Good point. Something that I didn't touch on, but the surface of this QualiDrain grate is, if you can think of an emery board, all right, typically this surface is similar to an emery board in that it's got a slightly grainy surface, which gives it a non-slip effect. And you can see there that it'll be heel safe as well. So for shopping centers and walkways, etc., ideal product.
Cool.
The other reason why...
Trevor, we just have a question here on the side about, Bianca would like to know a little bit more about the dust cover for the PolyDrain.
Can you hear me?
Sound ingress into the...
Can you hear me?
Okay, so let me, Bianca, we've seen your written question here, so let me address that for you. One of the features and benefits of the dust cover is, if you have a look, first of all, at the channel, you'll notice little weep holes or little holes there on either side. Now, these holes have been designed to accommodate the grate when it's clipped in. It's a very firm seat in. So when it clips in, it's very firmly in place. You heard that, right? That's what those holes are for. However, what we've done is, in the design of this cover, you'll notice that there are little, see, there we are. There's little legs there. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side. The idea is that when this dust cover is fitted, all right, those little feet fit on the outside of those holes, so that when the concrete is poured, the concrete pushes against those feet then push against the grate or against the channel, and nothing can go into this particular unit. I'm talking now only during installation and pouring of concrete. I think your concern might be what happens when sand finds its way into this channel and sand starts building up. All I can say there is we've chosen polypropylene because of its properties to expel water and allow water to flow very well, and it can then be self-cleaning by running fresh water through it. The other option is to remove the grates, which is quite easy, and these channels can be cleaned out. So that's our answer for maintaining and cleaning these channels. I think that's an issue you will have with any channel drain that's mounted in position, is how do you clean them? So it'll be, in our particular case, a question of just removing the grates. Are there...
Sorry, can you hear?
Yes, who's that? Carry on. Somebody was going to ask a question, a lady.
It's about the cover easily removed.
How easy is it to remove? Was that your question? Okay. The grate, although it sits very firmly in position, it can be removed quite easily. Your first one would be probably a little challenging, slightly. You'd probably need a screwdriver or a device, a hook that you put in to lift the first one out. But after that, every consecutive one, remember they'll be like this now. So your first grate will be there, your second grate will be here. Once you've removed your first grate, then your second one, your third one, your fourth one will be very easy to remove. And then they just clip in again from, you know, after cleaning out your channel. Any other questions?
Trevor, can you hear me? Graham?
Yes, I can, Graham.
Hi, good presentation. Thanks for the invite. Quick one, I'm interested to know, have you checked out any flow rates on that drain? Maximum flow rates. Obviously, it depends on falls and whatever.
Yeah, it's a good point, Graham. We haven't yet. And the reason we haven't is because as we were about to submit this to SABS, we had the problem with lockdown.
Okay.
So we haven't been able to conduct any tests. But, you know, obviously, part of it would be determined by the slope at which you mount these channels. So, of course, if you have a very gradual slope, you'll have less of a flow. And if you have a bigger slope, you'll have more. But remember always that you have the ability to connect two of these 75 to 110 outlets on the bottom, which will give you an outlet capacity of 2 by 110 millimeter, which is huge.
Yeah.
You can have that on every single one of these.
And compare it to this profile.
Will you circulate those, Trev, when you've got more information?
Yes, what we did was when you signed on to this presentation, you should have seen a URL that you can click on. And that URL has got our technical specifications, technical data sheet, photographs, and the testing document when we sent this for testing to Serverlight. All of that is there. If it's not,
I'll have a look.
If it's not and you don't find that, don't hesitate. Drop an email to Michelle. You all have her email address because you RSVP to her, and she is the one that disseminates that kind of information to everybody.
Very good. Okay.
Okay. Anyone else?
One question, Trevor, if I may. What sort of lifespan are you looking at in terms of those grids with the UV ratings and what have you? I'm thinking of particularly in the South African context with high UV levels.
Well, I can tell you that the guarantee that we offer on the product is 5 years. But I'll give you an example. We've got glass-filled nylon product out in the marketplace that's been installed. Now I'm talking RainDrain and HyDrain that's been in the market for over 15 years. That when the tests were done by Agrimar's material scientists and their hydrologists, they removed these, they asked us to take scrapings from existing product and to give them the amount of time that it had been installed. And we had to get affidavits from the owners of homes and apartments and hotels to say that's where it was installed. And also affidavits from the plumbers and the construction companies that did the installation to confirm and corroborate that that is how long these products had been installed. And as I say, some of them had been in for 14 and 15 years and had not failed. When they took those scrapings and analyzed them, the material scientists complimented us on that and said it was quite amazing to see that there was no degradation of the product in that period of time. What they did advise, the only change they advised was that when they looked at the leaf guard on our HyDrain, they asked us to what we make it out of, and we said we made it out of repalletized or a mix of polypropylene and regrind. And they said they want us to use virgin polyprop and to up the UV stabilizer from the percentage component we were using to a new percentage, a higher percentage, which we've now done. And we're quite confident we now, I think, give a 10-year warranty on this product. Because remember, the part exposed to sun, and then, of course, this part is mounted in the concrete, so it doesn't get exposed to sun.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, Graham. Thank you for attending.
Only a pleasure. Enjoyed it. Good luck.
Thank you very much. We would really appreciate it if any of you could pass on your comments to us in writing. And we look forward to the plumbers and architects that have attended this presentation specifying our products on future projects. And we are going to be holding similar webinars on our full range of products. We probably do it in outdoor products first and then indoor products second. And we'll be doing that in the coming 2, 3, and 4 weeks. So look out for invites. Thank you very much for attending.